Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your tarot reading. I have my tarot cards here, and just very quickly, please do not use these tarot readings to replace any kind of professional advice. But I do hope that you find these tarot readings helpful or insightful in some way. They are meant as entertainment and personal enlightenment purposes. And I hope that you approach these readings with an open mind and an open heart. And what else? There's one more thing, but I forgot what it was. Any disclaimers that I haven't mentioned are likely in the description box below, so please do read that as well. So Scorpio, we are here for the tarot reading in December, and let's see what messages the tarot has for us this time. Messages do you have for Scorpio? Alright, first card is the High Priestess. Then we have the Four of Swords reversed. Many of the signs are getting the Four of Swords reversed. Then we have the Knight of Swords. So the High Priestess is, personally, I've always experienced Scorpios as very deep people. And the High Priestess definitely points to that deepness. So this may be a time when going deep and deeper still is an important aspect, I guess I would say, right now. Or maybe you're going into your deep era where, not to put, it feels kind of shallow and weird, so I apologize that I did that. But it is, many Scorpios are likely in a moment where they're kind of wondering why, or they're asking profound questions, or maybe even looking into the psychology of things. There could also be something, they're trying to reach a hidden part of themselves, or you're trying to reach something that has been kept, that has kept itself hidden. And this is not, and I'm also seeing the Four of Swords reversed, and that tells me that this is not a moment that is to be taken lightly. There's, how should I put this? It's almost like you're not in the mood to like make light of things. You want to take things seriously. And maybe even the things that you have fun with or that you consider frivolous or entertaining, you want to kind of understand why it attracts you in that way. So again, the psychology of things, it's kind of like you're asking the question, what's the point of it all? And you're asking the question, what's the point, or why? Why is this something that either interests me or you? And that is possibly the message with the Knight of Swords. That's the point that this deeper aspect of yourself, I would call it the psyche, is trying to get you to figure out, or to explore even. Like, you don't even have to figure out the answer or discover the answer. It's just, it's something for you to explore and wonder about. Then we have the Five of Cups reversed. A lot of readings are getting the Five of Cups reversed as well. So it's the end of disappointment, or it's the end of some sort of mourning period. Maybe you've been grieving the loss of knowing what the point of whatever you did was. Like, I'm thinking there was a point in your life where you knew the reason why you were taking every single step, right? And now you're either wondering where you lost sight of that. I want to say confidence, but it's like stronger than that. It's like you're wondering where it is, at what point in your life you lost that sure footing, let's say. And at some other point later down the road, you've kind of figured out that you were mourning that in different ways. And now you're trying to figure out why that happened. Or you're trying to return to the aspect of yourself that was so sure of where they were going, and like they knew the reason why behind every step, and you miss that. You miss being sure of yourself. Then we have the Hermit reversed. I swear I shuffled these, and the Hermit is another card that is appearing a lot in different readings, so I guess we're all going through similar circumstances, as we should be, since this is a collective reading, and we're all going through this same world, this same lifetime together. So I suppose it makes sense. So the Hermit reversed. Lately, I've been seeing the Hermit as going up a mountain to find their wisdom. And when it's reversed, it's this image of the Hermit going down the mountain and returning with the wisdom that they found. And so this is your moment to return to that self-assuredness that you had. But it's taken a while to figure out how to get to that point again. And I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying, now that you've found that self-assuredness again, don't lose sight of it. It's really important that it's really important for you to always know the reason behind everything that you do. So you usually don't do things on a whim. It's usually, and it may appear that way to other people, but you know. And yeah, okay. So then we have the World reversed. So the words that are coming to mind are loss of purpose, but then finding it again. So that means that there's a sense of renewal, like you've refound your purpose, so now you feel reinvigorated. Also, I think the World card is pointing to the loss of purpose, specifically, where with the loss of purpose, you also lost your way, and for a while you were directionless. I feel like both of these cards in reverse are also pointing to that sense of directionlessness. So another thing I'm picking up is that the Knight of Swords is here to help you find your sense of direction, but he This Knight of Swords has a tendency to be sort of a whirlwind. He can go in any direction, and you'll have to be the one to make the decision in which direction to go, and then he'll take you towards where you need to be. So, of course, the Knight of Swords is not, I don't get the feeling that it represents an actual person. It could, but in this reading, I feel like this is more of like a spiritual guide. And the High Priestess is here, so pay attention to your dreams because the spirit guide will show up there. And the Knight of Swords is here to say, pick a direction, you pick a direction and go with it and see how far it takes you. But also I'm looking at the World card and I'm thinking it's not going to be something that you will find immediately. There's going to be, so you might find a path that feels right, but there's going to be dead ends. And this is going to happen. I get the feeling that it's going to happen multiple times, but you'll eventually find your way, and you'll find something that works really well and gives you a fulfilling purpose. Then we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. The Three of Pentacles reversed. So the phrase that's coming to mind is, this is not your first rodeo. So this is not the first time it's happened where you've lost your way or have this sense of not knowing what you're doing or where you're going. Okay. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. And so maybe the reason that you lost your way in the first place is because you were expecting things to be a certain way, or maybe you were holding on too tightly to the way you thought things, the way you believe things were expected of you. Does that make sense? I don't feel like that makes sense. You were holding on too tightly to expectations. And not only like what others were expecting of you, but what you were expecting of your journey, let's say. And when it wasn't living up to your expectations and you were beginning to not live up to others' expectations, then you began wondering, what's the point? What's the point? Why did you start doing this in the first place? And you sort of lost sight of that. You lost sight of why you started this whole thing. And the Hermit and the World are both here to say, remember why you started. And it was out of pure joy, right? It was just something that you really enjoyed doing. Probably. And for whatever reason, you lost sight of that. I want to say, because this whatever this journey was, eventually became about making it a business or it required a lot of productivity, and you just wanted to, why am I doing this? You just wanted to churn things out so that you had stuff to showcase, I guess. Not that I want to stay away from I want to stay away from business stuff, and it's more of about having something to show for the journey that you went on. So you just, I don't know, sort of mindlessly produced something in order for you to have something to showcase for what you were going through. Does that make sense? And so it became about that showcasing thing rather than the journey itself. Then the bottom of the deck is Justice, and Justice is here to say, I'm sorry, but this is what happens. This is the dessert that you get because you prepared the meal the way that you did, and so dessert is this. And you forgot why you started. You lost sight of the reason why you were doing this in the first place, and so Justice is here saying, obviously, you're going to lose sight of the path that you're on, and you're going to forget your reason why. And so, like, Justice is saying they could see this happening a mile away. And, but I do want to say that with the Hermit card and the World card, you are returning to the reason why you started in the first place. You are remembering why you began this journey. And now you know the pitfalls. Like, now you know where you have a tendency to get stuck and where you have a tendency to lose sight of what you're doing or the journey that you're on. And I feel like the Justice card, combining it with the World card, is saying that it is okay to start over. And even though you're not a beginner, the Three of Pentacles is reversed is saying that you're going to restart this journey, but understanding how you move through it will help you get further than you did before, if it doesn't get you all the way through the end of however this journey takes shape. I hope this resonated with people and it made sense, but definitely do pay attention to your dreams, because spirit guides will show up there, and perhaps even that is where you'll find out or figure out why you started this journey in the first place.